Okay, so we just got the AirPods Pro 2 in the studio, so let's answer the big question. Is it worth upgrading from the AirPods Pro 1 to the AirPods Pro 2? Are the improvements that big of an upgrade? So we'll be testing everything from the new ear tips to MagSafe, the Apple Watch charger support, volume control, sound quality, transparency, active noise cancelling, basically everything. But first, let's take a look at the boxes, unbox them and see if there's any difference. So on the front, on the new models, the image has changed. Let's see, on the top, the text has also changed. Before it said wireless charging case, but now they come with that by default. And of course, the text on the back has been updated as well, and the image, but not much else has changed in terms of the box. Okay, so let's break the seal. And there you go, we have the Designed by Apple in California booklet. So the quick start guide has actually been updated to show some of the new features that we have on the second gen, which we'll be covering later in this video. Then we get to the actual second gen AirPods. And then we get, of course, the charging cable, which is USB Type-C to Lightning. And then we have the ear tips. Now, one of the main differences between the unboxing experience, and I would say the only difference really, is the fact that we get an extra set of ear tips. So we get extra small, whereas before we only had small, large, and of course the medium ones, which were already installed on the AirPods themselves. Now, if you go to Apple's website, it seems like the second gen ear tips are only compatible with the second gen AirPods Pro, which means that if you really want to get that extra small size on your current AirPods Pro, you're not able to do that. But here's the thing, I've actually just tried this now, and I can confirm that they do actually fit. They click in and they're very fit, so yeah, feel free to buy the extra small size if you have the old AirPods Pro. Now let's take a look at the design differences. So I have the AirPods Pro 1 on the left and the new models on the right, and as you can see, a lot of things have been repositioned. The vent on the back is pretty much in the same location. Then the proximity sensor has been relocated from the bottom to the side, and then the microphone has been relocated from the side to the top. So as you can see now, they're actually much more similar to the design of the AirPods 3 in terms of the sensor positioning than the original AirPods Pro. Now let's compare the differences between those two cases. So the old models on the left, the new ones are on the right, and from the front they look the same. From the back, once again, they look the same. From the bottom, we do get some changes here. So we have the new speaker, which we'll test in just a bit. And then on the right-hand side, we have the hole for the lanyard. Oh, and by the way, the lanyard holes are really shallow. So if you have a specific strap like we do, the one from Moment, it won't fit, sadly. So you will need a very specific thin lanyard here. Now, if you have one of these cases for the AirPods Pro 1 case, it would still fit the second gen. It's just that it would cover the speaker grill and of course the lanyard hole. Now, according to Apple, the new case is heavier than the old one. However, to me, they seem to be the exact same weight. So in terms of portability, they're both just as portable. Now, another new feature on the new AirPods Pro 2 case is that we have MagSafe support. So as you can probably tell, it attaches magnetically, and we even get that audio feedback coming from the microphone. There you go, when you have them connected. Now, Apple did introduce a MagSafe charging case for the first gen AirPods. So if you bought them more recently, you would probably have that. But if you bought them at launch, like I did, you would not have MagSafe support. But you do need to remember that MagSafe is essentially just wireless charging with magnets for alignment. So you can still use, MagSafe to charge your old AirPods, just that they wouldn't really align magnetically. Oh, and you can also use the second gen case with an Apple Watch charger, as you can probably tell, which is pretty cool. If you don't have MagSafe, you can simply use that to charge it. Now, if you have one of these 3-in-1 charging stands, you can actually place your AirPods right here on the Apple Watch charger, and they would kind of stay. They're not that stable, so they might slide. But yeah, that kind of works now. Now, when you start pairing your AirPods Pro 2, you will hear an audio beep. Now, one of the big new features on the second gen AirPods Pro is that now you can adjust the volume directly on the AirPods themselves. So what you have to do is slide your finger up and down on the force touch sensor, and it will actually give you this sort of like click, so you know when the volume has been adjusted, which is cool. You don't need an Apple Watch anymore. The rest of the gestures, so pressing once to pause, play, double pressing, and triple pressing to skip forward and backwards, that still works. Now, another new feature on the second gen AirPods Pro is the new skin detect sensor instead of the optical sensor that we had on the first gen. So what this means is that in theory, when your AirPods are in your jeans, they should not start playing music. As opposed to the old ones, they should only start playing music when they detect your skin. So there we go, music is playing. I take one of the AirPods out of my ear, and the music instantly stops playing. And when I put it back into my ear, the music instantly resumes. So if I cover the sensor with my skin, you'll see that the music starts playing. But then if I use a piece of cloth, as you can probably tell, the music would not be playing. So that seems to work, right? Well, that's what we thought as well until we retested the first gens. So take a look at this. The music is now paused as I took the right one out of my ear. But if I hold my finger here, the music will start resuming. So that seems to work. But then if I use a cloth, take a look at what happens. Nothing. So they act in the same way as the second gen AirPods with that skin detect sensor. So yeah, that was extremely weird. At the same time, I've also had issues with the first gen when they were in my jeans outside of the case, and they would simply start playing music by themselves because they thought that they were in my ears, which again, we couldn't really replicate this time with the first gen or the second gen. Now, another new feature on the second gen model is Bluetooth 5.3 compared to 5.0. So let's see if this makes any difference in terms of the pairing speed. Okay, so I've tried this on both, and I gotta say the switching speed is pretty much the same. So sadly, there are no visible improvements going from the first gen to the second. Another new feature is that now you can actually locate where your case is if you cannot find it or it gets lost. So you can see it in Find My, and because of that speaker, you can even play a sound. And I gotta say, this is way louder than I was expecting. It's the same noise as an AirTag, just louder and a bit higher pitched. Now, on top of that, we also have the new U1 chip inside the case, which means that you can precisely locate it now. So as you can tell, if you bring if you're closer to the case, it will start showing you the actual distance to it, and your phone will start vibrating the closer it gets to the AirPods case. So this is really cool. Also, whenever you're playing a sound, the LED light will start blinking, and if you're in a dark environment, you'll be able to locate this much easier. Okay, now in terms of the actual sound quality, I was hoping for a good improvement, and to be honest guys, I was blown away. The improvement is just massive. So the second gens were significantly clearer. The bass was way more pronounced, and I would say that these actually sounded quite close to my AirPods Max, whereas the first gens sounded really flat and almost with no bass at all. So the difference was massive. Now, Apple claims that the microphone quality has also been improved, so let's see if that's really the case. Okay, this is a microphone test on the first gen AirPods Pro. And now this is a microphone test on the second gen AirPods Pro, so let me know if these sound any better. Now, something else that Apple said that they have improved is active noise cancelling. And I just tried this quickly via a simulated audio of an airplane noise and a coffee shop noise, and I gotta say, the difference was pretty significant. So the first gen AirPods Pro reduced the noise by about 30% or so. However, the second gens, they reduced it by about 80%. So the difference was massive, definitely noticeable with the AirPods Pro 2, and a big upgrade over the first gen. Now, Apple also said that they improved transparency mode, and I gotta say, it's definitely improved, but on the first gen, it was already very, very good. So the difference between the two, I would say, is about 10 to 20% at most in terms of the actual improvement. But with these ones, when you're, I don't know, when someone's talking, it feels as if you don't even have them in your ears. It's that clear. But if you're coming from the first gen, again, the improvements are not going to be that massive. Now, I do want to mention a couple more things. So that personalized spatial audio that Apple showed us at the event, that is not exclusive to the second gen AirPods Pro. You can use that on the first gen as well and simply scan your ear with iOS 16. And same applies to the personalized equalizer. That's not exclusive to the second gens either. Now, aside from that, we do get two more improvements. The first one is the battery life, which gets bumped from 4.5 hours on the earbuds to 6, and then to 30 hours on the case compared to 24. And then the second one is the case being splash and rain resistant. So should you upgrade from the first gen to the second gen? I would say if you really, really care about the improved noise cancelling and the improved sound quality, which is very noticeable by the way, and also the extra battery life that you're getting, then 100%. If you're more like a casual listener, then probably not. Overall, I do think they are a really good upgrade, and considering that the first gen launched 3 years ago, well, this upgrade was long overdue. Stay tuned for our video on the Apple Watch Ultra. I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.